Hey guys, welcome to the third piece of the show, Poetry. It's your girl, Sally B. I am the host, and we're here with the poet. Hey, what's up, you guys? So today, the topic is unhealed. So why I had this button like that is because I used to be a gremlin. Like, I'm not gonna make it seem like okay. Before like I started healing, like, like everything was just all good. Like no, like I I was a gremlin. I wasn't no gremlin, but yeah, like shit was just real. So, I did this topic because I know that it's still some people who like they never started healing and stuff. So it's like, some stuff you can't really relate to just because like you never went through it for real. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna be raw and uncut and just, tell you about the things that I was going through and, like what triggered it, what everything that just led up to me just having this dark side too, because to every dark side there's a light side. So it's like, okay, to my healing, who was I? What was the things that needed to be healed in me? Cause baby, like this heart, oh my gosh. When I say like cold hearted, I mean like numb. Like I just couldn't feel a thing. Like I was just emotionless. Like shit is really, really real. So, like I wanna talk about like just the things that I've been through. And, like my thing was domestic violence, um, losing my daughter, abandonment issues, not knowing my worth, and like just no confidence, low self esteem. Like it was it was a lot, y'all. It really, really was a lot. And I can honestly say, like, I did some things that I really just wasn't proud of. I settled for certain things because that's just how I felt in the inside. I just felt ugly. And like on top of that, like I had terrible anger issues. Like I had so much rage in my heart. It was not funny. And I couldn't believe that I felt like that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I never hated somebody so terribly and wanted to just I just started having like dark thoughts and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like what is going on? This not like you. This not me. But like I said, like I really was in a dark place. I was in a very dark place. So whew, I'm just having a little flashback. But like yeah, like I said, I was in a very dark place. And I know how it feels to be there because sometimes when we're there, we feel like that we can't ever get out of it. And it's like that's why I like to share my story because you can. Like it is like at the end of the tunnel, like things will get better. You will heal and everything won't be like that forever. But honestly, it's really up to you. It's up to you because you can choose to stay stuck and play the victim to your problems, or you can be like, you know what? It's time for me to pull myself up out of this and to get the help that I need because honestly, it really starts with self love. It really, depending on how much you really love yourself, it's just certain things that you're just not going to do. And that's what it was for me. That's what made me want to break on myself because I was just like, wait a minute, like I love me. Like I can't be sabotaging and doing all this shit to myself like this. Like no, because I really love myself. I care about myself. So it was just a thing of like all the things that I was looking for, especially like happiness and stuff. I was looking for it like outside of me. And I had to, like really learn a lesson that everything just starts within. So it's like, once you really finally realize that like everything just starts within, you will really have a peace of mind. But if not, like, you're going to just find yourself chasing after the wrong things, chasing after the wrong people, trying to give you something that you should be giving to yourself, because everything starts with you. Like, at the end of the day, who gonna like you better than you? Tell me that. Nobody. Ain't nobody gonna like you better than you, because you know the way that you want to be loved. So it's just like, you gotta really sit back and just reflect and just be like, wait a minute, like, I need to make some changes. Like, some things gotta be worked on. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's easy either, because sometimes, some people, they don't like to take accountability. And, like, some people are in denial. Like, they don't think that shit stink. They don't think that shit stink. Like, they think that everything is just all good. And if it's not that, it's like they be trying to find somebody else to put the blame on. And, oh, well, they was stopping me from doing this, or I couldn't do it because of they, like, or this person did that. They, like, no, like, stop holding everybody else accountable for your shit. Stop doing that. Hold yourself accountable, because what did you do? Like, especially like with relationships, like, that we be having with guys, especially as females, we always want to say, well, he keep coming back, and okay, but do that mean that you gotta sit there? Do that mean that you have to allow him back? You don't gotta keep fucking with him, but you choose to. So it's like, take accountability for you. Fuck that. The nigga can keep coming back 1,000 times, but what are you doing? How are you gonna remove yourself? How are you gonna carry it? Because the only person that you're in control of is you. So it's just like, once again, like, we can't just keep putting stuff off on people, because that's what really make us feel good in it at the end of the day. Sometimes when shit just be so fucked up, we want to try to find somebody to blame. Like, oh, well, only if they would have had let me do this, or if this, that, and the third would happen, shit wouldn't be like this. No, 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 no. Like, that's not the answer. And you damn sure can't help like that, because you ain't owning your shit. That's one thing about being an adult. Like, you want to really like be big and bad about, like, you gotta know how to really own your shit and take accountability. Because if not, you're gonna stay stuck. You're gonna stay stuck. And that's not a terrible place to be. And honestly, like, that's why I had to really like leave some friends behind, because people want to stay stuck. Like, no, I can't stay stuck with you, boo. Like, I got other places I'm trying to go. If you ain't trying to elevate, you ain't trying to come to the top with me, you get left behind. And that's what I had to understand in this healing journey. Like, we be wanting to bring people with us when we see that we get further in life and shit getting better for us. And we be wanting to hold on to them because of their loyalty. And we feel like we deserve that. Like, oh, okay, like, I can't turn my back on them because they've been there, since day one. That's my childhood friend. We done grew up together. We done did this, that, and the third. Like, no, because that loyalty, that shit will get you killed. It will get you, like, it will really hinder you. All because you want to be loyal. Like, you want to be loyal to somebody. But you gotta let them go. And that's another part, like, of this healing journey. Like, knowing when to let go. Because honestly, sometimes we be holding on to dead weight. Like, why? Why? You know that person just they don't serve a purpose in your life no more. But we just want to just continue to just hold on to dead weight. Like, let it go. Let it go. Like, God be giving you all the signs. He be showing you everything. That person be doing you wrong over and over, and you still just make some type of excuse. Most of the times it's because, oh, all right, we done had years and this, that, and that. Fuck them years. Stop being stop being afraid to start over. It's okay to start over, because at least this time you know better. You know better this time. And when you do start over, the second time, ain't nobody getting away with shit. And you gonna know how to just, oh, okay, pause. You're not putting up with nothing. So that's what's gonna be the difference in that situation. But it's like, we have to stop being afraid of starting over. It's okay. Like, that's just life. That's just a part of life. Sometimes it's called new beginnings. For every ending, there's always a new beginning. So it's like, you know, don't ever be afraid to start over. Cause it be damn well worth it. Honestly, like, when I had quit my job in the post office, yeah, I was like, damn, like I done been at this place for 6 years. I got a career. I'm settled. I can retire for here. But on the other side, like I was just so miserable. Like I hated that place. Like it just wasn't benefiting me no more. That place felt like just dead weight. Like it wasn't benefiting me. So it's just like, what am I holding on to? Holding on to misery, basically. And that's how it be with some of these relationships that you'll just be holding on to misery. Stop doing that shit to yourself. And then you wondering why the fuck you depressed and why you drained. Look at your surroundings. Look at the relationships and shit, everything that you just pour into. Look at your surroundings. And it will give you a clear picture on why you feeling the way that you feel. And honestly, sometimes we don't be wanting to see the shit for what it is. We want to see people for how we want to see them because we love them. So, we don't look at them in a certain way like, oh no, they ain't that bad for real. Or we just get them so many chances because sometimes it can be your family members, but family members be toxic too. Like, if they ain't doing right by you, they gotta go. Everybody, they gotta go. If it's draining you, it's holding you back, it gotta go. It's no more excuses. And that's just that for real. So like I said, sometimes it can be your own family, like dysfunctional as shit. And it's like, you keep putting out with it because you're like, well damn, like that is my brother, that is my sister, that is my mother. At the end of the day, like so what? They toxic, they draining, they holding you back. They don't believe in you. They really envious of you. They gotta go. They gotta go. Like they hindering you. They not pushing you to do better. Like no, they not doing nothing but just yanking. Just keep taking and taking, but ain't never giving nothing. Don't you ever just get tired of just keep giving and over giving, and nobody not never pouring back into you? So it's like I'm here to tell you, like, stop doing it. Stop that. Okay, like 2022, like we not doing, like we're not doing that no more. Stop pouring into people that's not pouring into you. Stop holding on to dead weight situations that just don't serve your purpose no more. All that holding on and stuff because of the history and the years, that shit don't matter. Because people don't even be loyal no more after a while. And they just feel like, oh, okay, well, I know they just start feeling obligated and entitled. No, fuck them. Fuck them years. Start over with somebody else. Because you can meet somebody that be in your life for like 6 months to a year and they've been more loyal than the person that you've been rocking with since childhood. So it's like, it's bullshit. Stop making, just stop holding on to excuses. Stop making excuses for just putting up with the bare minimum. That's not what we doing this year. Stop putting up with like just no. Don't accept the bare minimum. Like if you know what you bring to the table and you know who you are, you know your worth. Make people really apply pressure. Like that's another thing that I'm on this year. Like really applying pressure. If you're not applying pressure behind me, see you. Cause I feel like I'm a big deal. I'm a big ass deal. So it's like you gotta apply pressure. Don't come with that bare minimum shit and expecting me to just really be entertained. Like what the fuck is that? What is up? What you doing? Chilling. So when I'm seeing you, what? Like y'all see how dry that is, right? Dry as fuck. Do you think that's gonna really have my attention? Like, have real big energy, like planning dates, or come meet me at the spot or something. We write drinks or something, like come meet me at the mall. The fuck? Like something like that. Like, I don't know, but don't just keep asking me what I'm doing. Like, you know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm busy. I'm very, very busy. So it's like, yeah, like the bare minimum shit, just don't be cutting it. But it's really up to you to make people really apply that pressure for real. Because, like I said, if you don't really know your worth, like you just be settling for anything because you just feel like, oh, you don't deserve better. And which, that's not true because, yeah, like you deserve the world. You deserve everything. You deserve love. You deserve attention. Like you just deserve it all. So, you know, that's it. Why I wanted to really just touch on to, it's the reasons why we feel like, we're just not worthy. We might have had parents and stuff that didn't way how we needed to be loved. So, some of us don't really know like what unconditional love is for real. And we just go out here and we try to seek validation from other people who just don't even really fucking matter. Like we be trying to search for all this validation outside of us when everything is just really within. So, you know, I want to really talk about and it's crazy. Oh my gosh, like I'm like, oh girl, it's time to spill a tea. I played too much, but no. So okay. So I want to talk about like who I was before I started to heal, because a lot of wounds and stuff that I had like was from relationships. Um, First off, okay, so when I was 16 years old, that's when I met my daughter's father. Well, actually, when I was 15. So before I got pregnant, oh my gosh, like he gave me the world, okay? And I say he treated me real good, like to the point I even had got this man name tatted. I don't know if y'all see it right here. When I had to get it covered up, It's like, yeah, I had got his name tattooed on that. Like I was in love. What they say when he was young, me just being young and down. Just being young and down, just thinking I was just so in love and man, I was just gonna be together forever. Yeah, he had me hit over heels. So um, I want to say like through the course of our relationship, like he always was just in and out of jail. Ever since I know him, since I was like I say, I met him when I was 15. So he was just like just back and forth out of jail. Like that, he really was like the first guy that I ever really waited on and everything to come home. Cause I mean, he had got locked up for like 9 months and everything. I'm like, damn. Like, boy, I'm a little too young to be trying to hold you down and all that and be calling myself being faithful. But it was like, I really had fucked with him for real because he had really he dealt with me for me. He accepted me for me, regardless of what people were saying about me. Because I ain't gonna lie, like I really used to be a little hot. So like he's always telling me like, yeah, like niggas keep telling me about that. Yeah, this and the third, you did this, all that. And I was like, damn, like how the fuck he find this out? Wow, wow. But like none of that never phased him for real. Like he wasn't worried about it. Like I say he still was fucking with the girl. So long story short, okay. After he did his little 9 months or whatever, he came home and we kind of like we had planned the pregnancy actually. You know how that jail talk y'all being like, yeah, I'm gonna hit your baby and stuff like that. So when he had came home, I ended up getting pregnant, probably like a month or two later, and I was pregnant with my baby girl. So I want to say like about by the time it was like 7 months, he just started to change. And I remember this one day, like I had went out with my friend down the harbor, And I guess he didn't really want me out late, whatever the case may be. So, he had came to my house and of course I wanted me out bad. Next thing you know, this nigga overhand big smacks a shot in my face. So I'm like, oh my god. Like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, I didn't expect this from him. Like, this was his first time ever putting his hands on me. So, I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, okay, I rubbed it off. Big deal. So, I wouldn't say, like, after like a month or so, yeah, things just started to like just change. So by the time he was like, by the time I was like 8.5 months pregnant, he ended up locked up again. So, now I'm big as shit. My due date right around the corner. And this nigga's locked up. And your court date was like right the day before. No, his court date was actually on the day of my due date. So, he could have had came home, but because he was in there fighting so much, they had pushed it back. So I already was just angry because I'm just like, well, what the fuck is you doing? Like, I need you out here. Like, I need you. Like, this is not the plan for me to be doing this on my own. Like, this ain't what the fuck we talked about. So, okay, we want fast forward a year later. He comes home. My daughter is about to be one. I want to say probably like about a month before that, he ended up coming home. She like 11 months. So once again, me and him, we had got into like a real bad terrible argument about me basically cheating on him after I found out that he was cheating on me, yo. Like he was fucking with a CEO and all that. Like how you fucking with the CEO? And I'm out here being faithful. Like, are you serious? Like a whole 12 months, I'm really being faithful. I ain't talking to nobody and nothing. So you damn right. My Scorpio is like the fuck I want to revenge. So yeah, I was being faithful. I wanted my lick back. But anyway, so he found out about it and ooh, that nigga had yoked me up again. So after that, it was just like it started to become a habit with him. Like I started to be like all these bitches, these dumb bitches, and like it was just nonstop. And I would just be looking like, whoa, like wait a minute, like where did this come? Like where, like you're a whole total different person. Like who are you? Like I don't even know who you are anymore. Like you're just different. And you know how they say like if they do it once, they'll do it again. Like, it don't never get better. And, at the time I didn't want to believe that because I really was like I was in love and that was my child forever. So I didn't really want to give up for real. And by me, like not really like knowing my worth, I dealt with it. But then after a while it just got worse and worse. And, I wanna eventually I wanna say probably like a couple months or so we had ended up breaking up. And that was like a real big relief because like I said, it just kept going on and on. But the last straw was, and this one, we wasn't together at the time. Like by this time I was pregnant on my son. I was 4 months pregnant. And he didn't know that I was pregnant or nothing like that. This is a total different person. My son's father, different from my daughter father. So, my daughter father, he didn't ever know that I was pregnant. And luckily, I'm glad that I didn't tell him because that man probably would have had kicked me in my stomach. Like, that's just how fucked up he is. So, it was just one day, man, we had gotten into an argument about just him doing something for my daughter, this and the third. So, I got my best friend with me and we get to tussling and stuff. He comes to the car. We get to tussling. He pulled my key out that ignition. So I was just like, you know what? I'm so tired of this. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm a fight back because I'm tired. Like I used to just let him just get away with it, and already a week. I want to say 2 weeks prior to that, man, we had gotten into it, and this nigga really had spit at me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of letting him get away with this shit. So okay, as I get out the car and I try to take the keys back, I don't know. I don't really remember what the fuck happened. All I know is that I just felt a really hard, like just kick or something, a blow to my face. And when I did like this, I seen that I had blood coming down, and I was like, wow, like this nigga really just kicked me in my fucking face. But not only that, like, like I got my best friend with me. Like, that shit was just so fucking embarrassing. Like, wow, like, you really did this shit to me? Like, really? So, I go walk off to go call the police and, the ambulance, they had came and stuff. So I had asked them, I was like, could you guys could y'all go back and see, get my car? So they go back and they like, miss, it's no car over there. So I'm like, what you mean? They like, yeah, ain't no car down there. So I was like, wow, I'm like, this nigga stole my car too. I was like, wow, okay. So, as I was on my way there to the hospital, my best friend rode with me. I had just told her, I was like, don't you ever let no man put his hands on you ever. Like, if you do, you better fucking leave him. Like, you see the shit that happened to me. Like, don't ever let a man do that shit to you. So, from there on out, like, I really hated, when I say hated, I mean, I hated his guts. And I really was scarred, like, very, for so long. For so long. Like, that domestic violence shit is really real. And it made me just, like, it made me hate men. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it really made me really, like, just resent men. And I didn't really realize like after a while, like the shit that I would do and how I would carry myself, like why I had so much resentment towards niggas, like on just some drag and shit, like fuck them and yeah, doing nigga how he do it, like it was just it was just real bad. Like I had a lot of animosity. It's like, I wasn't like that same like just loving type, just wanting to give a guy love. Like no, I just wanted to fucking just drag on a nigga. Like, fuck him. Like, but that was all because I was hurt. And I really had got fucked over and screwed over by somebody that I thought really, really loved me. And, somebody that I gave the world to. I was just like, damn, like, how could you do me like this? So I want to say, that was like the beginning of what caused me to just feel like that I just wasn't really worth anything. It really played with my self worth for a lot. So I can honestly say like that during the years after that, I would settle for like certain situations only because like I didn't know my worth. I'm gonna be honest. Like I just felt like damn, like if this guy that I had a baby by, beat on me like that and treat like I ain't worth shit. Like, I ain't so sometimes I'm gonna be honest because a few us boy. Like, yeah, I used to be okay with being a side bitch. And not only, I'm not gonna say I was okay with being a side bitch because a nigga ain't ever say like I was a side bitch. But sometimes if I know that a nigga had a girlfriend, I would still fuck with them. And not only because it was just more of the attention thing. I used to just look at it like, oh, like, well, being a nigga main bitch, the nigga be fucking you over anyway. He be treating the side bitch more better than the fuck. Or should I say the other bitch, the other girlfriend. He be treating her way more better than the main one. Like, cause the main one be lost in the sauce. She don't be knowing what be going on. But it's the other choice. You in the loop. You know what the nigga got going on. Cause soon as he step it outside, he on your line. So I ain't gonna like, like yeah, like honestly, I wanna say, it was like two situations that I had actually settled for. And I ain't gonna say like it felt like I was on something like no, cause they really niggas be wild, be. That's all I'm gonna say. Niggas be wild. So it was just like, shit like that over my eyes. And I'm just like, I cannot trust niggas because if he'll do that, I know he'll do that to me. But it was just like I just always had like a different perspective. But at the same time though, it was just like, okay, once when I got like a little too deep in it and my feelings really got involved, I would sit back and just be like, okay, so it's either you gonna make me your girlfriend or I'm here to stop fucking with you. Like I ain't about to keep doing this. So, sometimes I would sit back and reflect and be like, okay, what is it? Like, why do you settle for situations like this? And most of the time was because like I really didn't want to be tied to nobody. Like I wanted to just be done when I wanted to be done. Like that was just that for real. I didn't really want to be like, excuse me, I didn't really want to be in a commitment. I didn't want to be committed to nobody because I just felt like it was just too much. It was just too much to just deal with. So, you know, even especially like even dealing with like street guys. Like, oh my gosh, like around the time like when I met my daughter for like I used to love street makers. I used to be chasing around the avenue, going out Douglas. I want to know like I used to be chasing. I love being in town nigga. My mind you go like at this time when I was younger, like I was going to county schools. But I was loving me an in town nigga. But did my daughter fall fun? I was like, oh no. I'm like, I don't want no street nigga because I couldn't deal with that jail shit. I could not deal with it. I'm like, no. I ain't like I'm not waiting for no nigga to come home. So a nigga be fucking off and he come home, he think he about to be with this bitch. I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. So at that way I'm like, no, I want to work a nigga. I like niggas with jobs. And that's when I met my son father. And he's the total opposite. And well, thank God. I want to thank God for him because he's a awesome father. He's a good father, and he had stopped up and he had took care of my daughter like that was his daughter. Like my daughter loved him. She loved him. So I always really worshiped him for that because yeah, he really was a big blessing in my life. And he does so right by my side. So he always get my highest honor no matter what we go through. Cause I ain't gonna say he was a good boyfriend, but yeah, he's a good father. He a damn good father. I give him that. Like I said, he was always good to my daughter and my son. So I salute you. But yeah, it was just like at the time, like I said, like I just only wanted niggas with jobs. Like I could not take no street nigga serious. So it was just like after a while, I was just like, like you gotta really open up. Cause you might really miss out on the one for you all because you feel like, oh, right, you don't want no nigga that's in the streets. But it was just like I know the shit that came with it, so it's just like why not? Like why not? And I'm kind of glad that I did because I actually, my soulmate is somebody that's still in the streets. And it's like I don't even look at him in that type of way. All the stuff that I used to be worried about, I don't even be worried about that shit. Like I always feel like if anything was to happen, I would be right there by his side. Like, yeah, baby, I got you. Like we rocking out. This how that's going. Period. Like you just gotta be worth it. That's all. You just gotta be worth it. So, it was a thing of I had to really forgive. I had to really forgive my daughter for the things that he did to me. Because when I say that I was holding on to that hurt, I mean like I would not let it go. So, after like with the abuse and stuff of my daughter father, she ended up passing away at 5 years old. So that was another thing that I was dealing with. And he got locked up around that time too. And I'm just like, damn, like once again, I'm just by myself. I'm by myself. Like, gotta deal with this all on my own. I had nobody to help me but my son for. Like, he was the only one. But other than that, where are you? Locked up again. So, it's like, if y'all can understand, like, that was my trauma. That's why I was like, you know what? I can't do another street nigga again because if I gotta keep going through all all the real big shit by myself, I refuse not to. And my child just deserved better. So I was just like, you know what? I gotta choose better. I gotta do better. So, after when my daughter passed away, I can say that that's when I really fell to a very, very dark place. And hanging around the wrong people, making the wrong choices, baby, I really started to just get off my path. And that was another thing too that just led up to me just in the situations that I was in was with guys because it was just like I was more of a just a repressor, just repressing everything that I felt. Like one thing people can tell you about me, like every time they see me, like I'm always smiling and laughing. But I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't a damn fucking thing funny, okay? Like the shit that I was feeling on the inside, it wasn't nothing funny. Like, whew, I'm talking about like I felt terrible, like numb. Like sometimes I would just wake up and it wouldn't be nothing wrong, but it always felt like it was just something wrong. Like, what's the matter? Like, I don't know. It's just my fucking anxiety today. But it was like, by me grieving and like in the beginning, I didn't ever want people to be worried about me. So I used to hide it. So it was like, any other times that I would probably cry or be grieving, I used to be sitting in my car and I always felt misunderstood. I felt like, like nobody didn't understand who I was. I felt like I couldn't talk to my friends because none of my friends they didn't lose kids. So it's just like you don't understand my pain. Sometimes I felt like, I used to be judged because of the things that I did and how I was moving, but it was just like I was just misunderstood. Like I was just trying to just deal with my pain the best way that I could. And like I said, like I don't regret anything because nobody never taught me how to heal. Nobody never taught me how to heal. So, I was just healing the way that I just knew how. And, like I said, being around like the wrong people, one of my friends, me and her, we started taking pain medication. And after a while, that turned into me self medicating and it turned into a real bad addiction. And that's when shit got real. That's when I'm saying, like, that's when shit really just got real. And I looked out, it was just like 3, 4 years. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, this not it. This is not it. Not only like with that, it was just like I had everything that I wanted. Like I had the place, the car, the job. I had everything I wanted. And when I realized that like that and I was still miserable, I was like, oh yeah, like you search at the happiness in all the wrong places. Like everything outside of you, you done bought all these things up and you're still miserable. Like when I say I was miserable, y'all, like I was miserable as fuck. I was miserable. And that's why I used to just get high every day because I was just so fucking miserable, but I used to just be numb to it. I used to be numb because honestly, like, like all the shit that I went through, I used to just run away from my pain. I didn't ever want to deal with nothing head on. Like it was just too deep and it was just too much. And I'd just be like, nope, not today. Like as soon as I start feeling myself being in my feelings and I'm feeling sad and I'm feeling down, it's like, oh no, like I need a drink. I need to do something. I need to get high. Like I don't know, but I ain't this ain't it. I refuse to feel like this for the rest of the day, and that's what I kept on doing. So it wasn't until I want to say like about 5 years later when I really realized that none of that stuff was working for me. I was just like, you gotta find you gotta find other choices. You gotta pick up different habits because this not it. This not cutting it for you. And not only that, I wish that I would have had took some time out for myself to get therapy, to actually see an actual therapist because I never been to a therapist. I only been to one, and that therapist was through my job at the time. But that was only 8 weeks. Like baby, I done got years of trauma, years of grief. So that 8 weeks wasn't nothing. That 8 weeks was not shit. So like I said, like I really used to just try to work through it. Going to work, it's like it used to keep me distracted for the most part. It used to keep me distracted. But it's like you gonna have that one day where you just gonna be in the quiet and it's gonna just come that shit is gonna all come down on you. And that's a very bad feeling because I can honestly say, it was one time at work, like it all had came down on me, and it was so bad that it actually made like my heart hurt. Like I mean, like my heart really was hurting because I didn't let this pain out of me. Like I just kept repressing everything, and I was just crying, just nonstop at work. And then the most fucked up thing about it, like they still wanted me to work. I'm like, are y'all serious? Do y'all not see like what I'm going through? Like, what do y'all think this shit is like? This is real life. I got real fucking problems going on. But I guess because wasn't nobody else going through shit, I'm just faking. I'm just trying to get out of work. Like no, like just because I don't come in and I don't talk about the shit and I'm not telling you my business, that don't mean that I don't have problems outside of this job going on. So, that was another thing that was a big issue for me because my job they just totally just disregarded everything, like how I felt. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Fuck this place. Like, it wasn't until honestly, y'all, till Corona. When Corona came out, 2020, when we was forced to sit our asses in the house, that's when and I couldn't get up and run because one day I used to run the streets real bad. I was never in the house. Every time you call, where you at? Outside. I'm outside. I'm on that Florence. I'm over east. Where you at? But real like I was out. I was out and about. I was such and such. Like, yeah, I was out. I was moving around. I wasn't coming in the house till like 1 o'clock. So I was just always just out. But Corona really made me some ass in the house. And that's when shit got real. Because I had to really just sit there in my thoughts. And everything just started just coming down. And I ain't going out 2020, that was the year I was always crying. I never cried so many times. Like I just started having these outbursts. I'll just be fine, and then next thing you know, I'm driving, and I just start crying. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I had it just so repressed. And like I said, like I couldn't run from my pain no more. I could not run from it. Like I had to really sit in it. But I want to honestly say, like, if it wasn't for Corona, I think for a lot of us, like it really did us a favor because we had to really sit down and just deal. We had to really deal with our shit head on. The people we ain't really get along with, like our family members, whoever you might been staying with, relationships, like you come run away from that shit. It was like, whatever needed to go, like that was the year. Like it was just on your ass. So I wouldn't say like that's what really did it for me. Like, mm, okay. I'm not gonna try. But that's what really did it for me. So, I wanted to talk about those two because, like I said, for the people used to be like someone asked me like, well, how do you heal? So first thing first, what I had to do was I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself because a lot of things that I did and was putting myself in, or that I might have blamed myself in, especially like with my daughter's death. I felt guilty about just not being able to just be there as a mother. Like I had to forgive myself because I didn't realize that I was really mad at me. I feel like, I didn't ever realize it. I was in denial with that for a long time. I thought that, I had faced it and I had accepted it, but I didn't. I didn't. Because it was just so many answers. It was just so many just like what ifs. And yeah, it just really just it was just on my mind heavily. So it was like, I couldn't really get the closure that I needed until she luckily just came and visited me and she gave me the answers that I was looking for. And that was another thing that had really assisted in my healing process. So, sometimes I want to say too, like, if y'all got loved ones and stuff, and y'all got these questions and stuff, like, talk, reach out to them, like, get that picture or something, write down in your journal, put it in your pillow, something, ask them to come to your drink, they listen, and they're around. And if they see that it's really bothering you, trust me, they will answer. They will answer. They will answer you, and they will let you know, like, baby, I'm okay. I'm at peace, and you did nothing wrong. It was just my time. So, don't feel like that you have to suffer. Like, no, like I said, like they're always here with us. And that's what really just helped me, just knowing that like she's always here with me. She always protecting me. And I know for sure. Because the stuff that I didn't say, I'll be like, oh yeah. I'll be like, that was her. That's my guardian. That's my ghetto angel. So I know. Not ghetto. But yeah, it's like I know she got my back. So I just look at it like, I just got a personal angel just on standby. She just always with me. She just always protecting me. And hey, I couldn't be more happier than that. So, far as, like I said, like with dealing with like loss of loved ones and death, sometimes, like we just gotta, it just takes forgiveness. So, like I said, once, I had forgave myself, I felt better. Now, with the abuse, um, once again, like I said, forgiveness. I had to forgive my daughter father for him for doing it to me. Even if I felt like at the time that I never was going to get the apology that I wanted. But eventually later down the line, he did apologize to me without me having to ask because I guess, the guiltiness might have ate him up. He came and he apologized to me, and I thank him for that. And we're now on a much better page, on a better page, and we able to really sit down and talk, even though things won't ever be how it used to be. But it's just like that's just growth. And sometimes you gotta let that hurt go. You have to let it go because it will really hinder you. And it's like you're giving that person power over your life because it's like you just want to just hold this grudge against them. Like, no, don't get on the power to stop you from loving somebody and being happy and looking at other people like they just ain't shit. Like, no, don't give nobody that power. Or like, let it go. Like, forgive. Like, even to my enemies. I mean, I think I probably done said this for like the third time already. Like, I forgive y'all. Now, it seemed like forever, whatever the case may be, that they still mad. And I mean, that's on you. And like I said, you know, your people being so selfish. Like a lot of the things that I did was because I was grieving and I was still trying to like find myself. So, you know, people still want to look down, talk down. Oh, she did this, she did that. That's totally fine. Like, I know how to own up to my ish. And like I said, you know, I might have not made the best choices. You might have feel betrayed or whatever. Cool. But you did some shit too. So it's like, you know, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. But it's just like we not because I said I forgive you. I'm moving on. Okay? I'm moving on. Excuse me. Like I don't have no hate towards nobody. I'm not holding no grudges. Uh, what do that serve me? Nothing at all. It serves me nothing at all. So, you know, if you want to continue to let me have power over your life, so be it, okay? When you go around throwing dirt on my name, thank you because I need a little free promo. Anyway, so yeah, tell them, Nelly Bomb or whatever, yeah. Tell them go ahead, click the link, click the bio, because you giving me free promo, and I'm loving it. So, anywho, we moving past that. So, you know, I just hope that y'all just got from that really like on a serious note, forgiveness is really the key to everything. Forgiveness is one of the keys to healing. So, second thing you need to know is you gotta stop running from your feelings. You have to stop running away from the pain. Like you gotta really just sit there. You gotta deal with it. You gotta feel it, and you gotta just let it go. Because running away from your pain, you're not doing nothing but just stuffing it deep down. You just pushing it back within you. Like, why would you do that? That's toxic. Let that shit out. Let it go. Yeah, it's gonna hurt and it don't feel good. And this is messy as fuck. But at least you know you'll be able to just move past it and just let it go. Because honestly, like I said, that was me. Always running away from my problems. Like I didn't want to deal with that shit because when I feel pain, I feel it so deep, and sometimes it's like some shit will really fuck us up. It just hurt us to the core. It make your stomach hurt. It just make you want to throw up. But it's just like you have to. Like you don't want to be stressed out. You don't want to be depressed. Like so, if anything, yeah, like stop running away from your problems. Stop being in denial, because that's another thing too. Like sometimes we don't be wanting to see, like we just don't be wanting to see shit for what it is. Like we just refuse to see that sometimes we be the problem or that we did something wrong. We just don't be wanting to own up to our shit. Like no, you gotta own your shit. You have to. That's the only way you'll be able to move past it. You gotta own your shit. That's just a part of growth. That's just a part of growth. So, let me see. Oh, I was saying that. Oh, okay. So, another thing too is just realizing like what triggers you. Anything like that really like trigger you, stay away from it. Stay away, cause that's what make you bring back out the remove it out your life. Like I said, sometimes we got a lot of dead weight, or we just be entertaining situations that we don't got no business entertaining. Stop self sabotaging, okay? Stop that. Stop self sabotaging. Like you gotta really just do better. So, whew, I just want to say that now. Now that I started healing, like God, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. Like I glow different. Like I glow different. And it's like, like when I'm actually smiling, like it's because of happiness. Because, like, honestly, I could say probably like 2, 3 years ago, like, I really used to feel like I was just walking around with a mask on. I used to feel like I was just putting on a facade, like, damn, like, do these people really know, like, I'm crying on the inside, like, I'm crying for help, like, it's just not a good feeling. But that's where healing comes into play, and most of all, God. How could the fuck can I leave that out? Get you a relationship with God. That, if anything, that's the number one key. Get you a relationship with God. God is listening. Get you a journal and write it down. Write down everything, how you feeling. Talk to him about your day. Like, just pray, like, God. Cause I'm gonna tell you, like, that's what really did it for me. Like, it was just one day. I don't know. I might have had I had to have a terrible Wednesday. And that night when I went to sleep and I wrote in my journal and I said, Lord, please let this be the last night that I cried myself to sleep because I can't take it no more. I said, I'm tired. I'm so tired of being miserable. I'm tired of feeling like this. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm at my breaking point. And like when I say I mean like I really was crying myself to sleep every night, like that's what I was doing. But nobody never know that because I never talked about stuff like that. I never told nobody that. So honestly, like from that day on, it was like he just showed up. And it was just like a big shift in my life. Like everything just started to change. Everything really started to change for the better. So that's when I really know. And I was like, oh yeah, he listening. He's listening to them silent cries. So like if anything, like if you don't have a relationship with God, put him first. Like I be telling people, like you so worried about a nigga, you so worried about a bitch. Get a relationship with God. Get a relationship with God first. Cause all that you praying for that you want, he gonna send you the right people. He gonna send you the right friends. He gonna send you the right lover. All the people that ain't for you, he gonna remove them. And that's on gang. Like he is gonna remove them. So when he removing them people, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Cause you didn't already know. But it's a thing of that's what you prayed for. So when you pray for it, let him do it. Just let go. Don't even try to hold on. Just surrender and let go because you prayed for it. So that's another thing. You know how they say be careful what you ask for? Don't ask them to come in your life and to remove these people and do this, that, and the third when you know you're not going to be ready. Because I can honestly say, like, when he started revealing stuff to me, I'm like, don't say, like, left to right, these are friends. Damn, that. I'm like, oh my God. One time I think I'm like, I need to breathe. I need a break because this too much. I didn't think you was. Nah, I need a break. Seriously, I need time to process that. Like we be acting like we don't give a fuck, and like now something that should be hurting. That should be hurting to really get betrayed by people you really was fucking with, and you thought like no, it be hurting. So I'm like, I need some time to process this. Like not right now, not right now. So when I say like, yeah, if you ain't ready, don't Don't bother, man. He got other people prayers to be answering. Okay, don't got time to be playing with you. So yes, like get you a relationship with God because that's what really helped me, like tap into my spirituality. That's what helped me like gain self esteem and know my worth. Do y'all know when I found my worth? Oh, you can't tell me nothing. I was clipping shit. I just one of the guys he could tell you, I just stopped talking to him. Just I'm like, what is I'm doing? Like it was very like I just woke up one day and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like this Like, you better than that. You way better than that. Mm-mm. So like yes, like everything really just started to improve for me once I really got a relationship with God. So, you know, like I said, like I'm not gonna say, that I'm all the way healed. I'm 50% healed and 50 unhealed. It's a journey basically. Like I still have some things that I need to work on, as far as like my confidence and stuff. Even though, I know I might seem like I'm just no, because by me just being knocked down so many times in life and the shit that I've been through, like I'm struggling. I be having my moments. I be having my times. So yeah, it's like I'm still working on me. Cause who baby? I used to be like, girl, what is you? Like I don't know. Sometimes when I'm bored, yo, I just be doing shit. I be doing shit I don't have no business doing, but that's just me. Okay. Like once you get to really know yourself, you don't need to be trying to shit anymore. You just be like, fuck it, me dang, put it behind you. But so let me see. What I want to really leave y'all because I'm getting tired, y'all. But I really, I really hope that this helped somebody. And I want to just leave y'all with a little gem. I'm always gonna give y'all like some daily gems for real. Whatever you're doing, stop seeking validation and attention outside of you because nobody will love you the way that you love you. Nobody will go hard for you the way how you want to go hard for you. And not only that, say no. If you don't want to do something, say no. You don't gotta people please for nothing, for nobody. You don't have to do that for people to like you and accept you. The people that's for you will be for you. And that's just that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and yes, check back in because I will be doing more episodes. My next episode will be about how to heal. Like, how do I just in this world of chaos? How to heal with the madness? But like I said, this was just to just talk about where I was before I started healing, and as you can see, a big difference. Now I made a lot of changes, which I'm going to say ain't happened overnight, but I made it, and I'm still working on it. So peace out. Have a good one.